Hello and welcome to the Comic Conspiracy episode 289 for the week of December 13th, 2016. Yeah, that's the year. My name is Ryan Higgins. Who's here with me this week?
Brock Sager.
Don't worry, Toby's on his way apparently, so not just a...
Damn it, I wanted you to do crickets,
not just a
insert a cricket noise afterwards.
Horrible two-man podcast. We never want to have those again. Hey guys.
You never want to have those again. I don't mind the two-man podcast, and some people actually really enjoy them.
No, they didn't. I don't want to kill our listeners here. Bunch of random crap to talk about. Tons of questions on Twitter to get to. So let's actually get to this pretty quick. We got what could possibly be Bryce's favorite long discussion about sales charts. Oh man, and how much Bryce likes that. But no, there's actually a lot to talk about this week because we did get the sales charts for November 2016 for the top books for Diamond Comics for the distributors, and there's a little controversy that's going to happen over the course of the next few months. So we'll see how this all works out. Brock.
Yes.
Can you tell me the top 10 comics released in November 2016 to North America, sales estimates to North America via Diamond Comics?
Oh, we're getting that specific now.
That's how specific you have to get.
Was one having to do with a conspiracy?
No.
Clone conspiracy didn't make the top 10?
Didn't make the top 27.
Oh, damn. Okay.
And actually, Clone Conspiracy is almost 5,000 under Amazing Spider-Man, which is pretty telling. Yeah.
Well, we know Batman's on there.
Batman's just on there. He's on there 4 times.
4?
Batman number 10 at 120,000 copies is the number 1 book of November 2016. Batman number 11 at 116,000 is the number 2 book of November. All-Star Batman number 4 at 99,000 is the number 4 book, and Batman Annual number 1 is 91,000 copies. That's the number 7 comic.
Jesus.
So yeah.
Okay.
Good to be the Bat.
Go, yeah.
It's good to be the car. Chicks dig the car.
God, what else?
That's it for DC, though. No other DC in the top.
Civil War's on there.
Civil War 2, number 7, is 116,000 copies sold to comic stores in November in North America, including all variant covers. Could be very specific about this stuff here.
Yeah.
That's the number 3 book. Oh, here comes Toby.
Okay, so we have 1 through 4?
Yep, you got one. You got Batman, Civil War, Batman.
Okay. Did Walking Dead make it this month?
Walking Dead number 160 to 88,000 copies is the number 9 comic, correct.
Okay.
So you got a number 1, a number 1, a number 1, and a number 0 left in the top.
Oh, well, that's not telling. IVX 0.
IVX 0, 84,000 copies for the number 10 spot.
And the number 1 books are most likely Venom.
Venom number 1, yep, 90,000 copies, including that 1 in 1,000 variant cover that at least a handful of stores ordered. So that's the number 8 book for the month.
Did Ghost Rider make it on there?
No, Ghost Rider was Ghost Rider in November?
Yeah.
Oh, it was? Yeah, no, it did not.
Unworthy Thor? Was that November?
Unworthy Thor number 1, but it did not make the top 10.
Oh, wow.
Again, you got to think variants here. You got to think what had all the variants.
That's right.
Those had variants, but not the levels the other ones did.
But the rest are number 1s, right?
Yep.
God, what else came out number 1 wise that we actually care about?
Liz 2. They're both going to be in a movie coming out in a few months. We just had a trailer for it. I'm going to talk about that too.
Oh, okay. I can't remember. Hold on.
Well, one of them is going to be in it. Toby, you got a guess?
Shit.
What shitty Marvel comics came out in November? Number 1 issues made it to the top 10.
It's not. God, did you pull them off the shelf?
No, they're up there. I just got a few extra copies of one of them from our good friends at Elusive Comics. Okay, this is terrible. Invincible Iron Man number 1.
Oh yeah,
the relaunch of the new title at 97,000 copies.
I just refer to it as Ironheart. I don't refer to it as that.
It's the number 5 comic. And Amazing Spider-Man Renew Your Vows number 1 at 96,000 copies. That is number 6. So Iron Man. Yep, that's the top 10. That Avengers number 1 launched at number 11, just around Justice League, Batman, Turtles, number 1, which cool first issue.
Yeah.
Number 14. Just trying to look at some other more key issues here. Black Panther: World of Wakanda number 1, 57,000, and I look for that number to drop pretty drastically. Yeah, it's funny what books I order a lot of. Like Thanos number 1, I ordered pretty heavy on, and we sold out. It's the number 36 comic. It's pretty low. Like,
well, a lot of like
Superman Annual number 1, 49,000 copies. The number 46 book that would have been a top 10 book for us. I ordered a shitload of those and we sold out, and I had to get more. Like, we'd sell so much Superman.
Yeah, I mean, all these. I mean, it's the variants that really, I think, pushed those books to.
Oh yeah.
The top 10.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we look at let's look at like Champions number 2. 49,000 copies. It was the 47th book of the month, right? Yeah. So dropping to 15% of the sales of number 1. That's a huge, 85% drop. That's humongous, right? Yeah. Even though the number of sales were totally inflated by Scholastic, it's still like that's it's a good seller, sure. But
it was that they had the Marvel box that had the variant, right?
That was Doctor Strange.
That was Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which actually, Doctor Strange: Sorcerer Supreme went from a top 10 book for number 2. 29,000 copies, the 99th comic of the month, right? That tells you how far these fallen. Great Lakes Avengers number 2, including the 40 free copies Marvel sent me, still just cracked the top 100. It was number 100 at 29,000 copies as well.
Mosaic hit.
Mosaic's right above it, 93, 31,000 copies. And I guarantee you that book will plummet even further. I think Solo was like way down in the...
For number 2?
Number 2, yeah. I think it was like barely in the... Solo number 2, 12,000 copies. Number 173.
Yeah, I don't get it. I don't mean...
I absolutely get it. Marvel's publishing a bunch of garbage that nobody cares about.
Oh, yeah.
It's so bad.
Well, I think the thing is that, when you have something like Rebirth and it's just... Everybody's
and remember those solo copies. Some stores were getting extras of those.
Yeah.
So that tells it tells you how few copies they sold of that book. We were down 7.65 million copies. I'm sorry, they sold 7.65 million copies. That's the top 300. That's the majority of comic sales. It's down 8% versus same month last year, and there was actually only 4 months last year. So November was very quiet this month comparatively to last month. 8.79 million, so you're down over 1 million comics less in November sold than October.
Well,
so.
And the thing is you can't really say for some of those Marvel numbers that they were sold because they just shipped it to you. This
is shipped to comic book stores. Yes, so there wasn't too many in November. November was only Mosaic and
Great Lakes Avengers.
Great Lakes Avengers that Marvel, at least to myself, I don't believe I saw any other titles that people had reported overships on. But Marvel basically sent us extra copies to the tune of, in the case of, we talked about this prior, but we're talking 1,000% more than we ordered, or more in some cases. They've quadrupled down on that in December. We're getting free copies of about basically every new title that Marvel has launched, including Guardians of the Galaxy this week, which isn't even a new title. It's the first new story arc. Marvel's sending double shipping copies. Mosaic number 3 that came out this week, I ordered 0 copies. They sent me 45 free copies. I can't do anything with these. I sold 1 copy of number 2.
Yeah.
1. Mm-hmm. And that was after having it on the shelf for... a couple weeks from all the free copies they sent me, because it's ridiculous.
Well, the thing is I want to know the numbers on how many books were shipped out to stores from Marvel. Like, what's the
It's small, right? At the end of the day, it is small, but it is not insignificant.
No,
it'll probably end up being.
The thing is, the amount that they probably shipped out pushed both Mosaic and Solo into the top 100.
Yeah, which they shouldn't have done.
Yeah.
I'm going to guess it's probably 5%, 5 to 8%, somewhere in that range, which is not insignificant. That's a lot of free books, and that's a lot of wasted material and wasted money, right? They overshipped this Champions a handful of copies, and I actually sold a couple of them. So in one case of all of these, it helped
your
me
numbers
make
on Champions were low to begin with,
right? But it was pretty low anyway. Yeah. So it was like, Champions is one of those books where it sells 12 copies for us, right? I mean, it's not a great seller. So I sold a couple extra copies. Yeah, I made extra like $5. Cool. But like, it's not worth the risk to then up my orders on this title. Something like Batman where I'm selling 100 copies. Sure, if I'm off by a few copies here and there, okay, fine, whatever. I mean, I'm making money hand over fist on that title. But something like Champions is not selling enough to justify ordering extra stock on this stuff. So there was a huge back and forth between a comic fan on Twitter, Tom Brevoort, who's one of the editors at Marvel, and Rich Johnson of Bleeding Cool, about how these numbers actually come, what Marvel does. Are the numbers that are reported, are they accurate? They're never accurate, but they're always off the same amount, so they're accurate on a percentage level.
Yeah, they're accurate on purpose.
Well, they're accurate to the degree of, if it goes up 1,000 or it goes down 1,000, it probably went up or down 1,200. But it works on a percentage level that these sales numbers aren't pulled out of nowhere. They're pulled from Diamond Comics. So they may not be accurate to what the publisher numbers say, but they are accurate to the North American direct market, which is comic book stores.
It's what was distributed.
Yeah.
Now the thing is Marvel produced X amount of Mosaic, but Diamond was only going to give out a number that was far less than that.
Well, we don't know. We don't know if what's happening here is they're like, we have 10 million comics that have to be printed in the month of November. That's what we have set up with our printer, and the orders come in and they're at 9.2 million, and they're like, oh shit, we have to print these comics. That's possible.
Yes.
It's possible that they're like, we just want to give retailers books for free that they may have underordered. While that is a good thing in theory, and I'm not complaining too much about getting these free comics, it does me no good to get free comics of issues 2, 3, 4, and 5 or whatever. Give us more number ones for free if you want. Fine. And then I'm going to order based on that, because that's what I did with something like Mosaic. I ordered a handful of number ones because I figured out this buzz behind this. We'll see what happens. And I sold 2 copies. I don't need 40 free copies of number 2. Because if I didn't sell any number ones, I'm not going to sell number 2s.
But something like Clone Conspiracy, which we've actually sold out of issues 1, 2, and we have very, very few issues of 3, getting extra copies.
I got a lot of 3s.
You got a lot of 3s?
Yeah, 3 kind of, I think people kind of, after 2, I think people dropped it. 2 is pretty bad.
But it's one of those things where, all of these titles, give us more Clone Conspiracy. Give us something that, has the potential.
Well, they're overshipping Jessica Jones 3. Why 3? Right?
Yeah.
I like 1 and 2 sold okay. Like where's 2 on here? Let me look. Where'd Jessica Jones go? Yeah, Jessica Jones number 2 fell to 36,000 copies, and it was, I want to say it was a top 15 book of, and that's bad because I actually ordered the same copy of 2 as 1. So I don't know why. I mean, it must be again variant covers, right? 38,000 or 36,000. This is the actual sale numbers. We go back to last month, and Jessica Jones was 74,000 copies. So you're talking, it's getting cut in half.
Yeah.
Is that purely just variance?
Yeah.
I mean, it must be, right?
Well, I think it would be really nice if we could get an actual breakdown of like these titles that do hit like the top one, like the top 25.
I have asked Diamond if they can release numbers of what, because they know, right?
Yeah.
Of what every cover is selling and the breakdown of in each issue how much is what part of the variance. Because when you look at some of these books up here that are at the top, right, for Marvel as well. Now, don't get me wrong. During the first couple months of Rebirth, all the books are returnable. So we're seeing now much more accurate sell-through numbers from DC.
Yeah, because Batman's just over 100,000.
And yeah, so Batman's 120,000, and that is non-returnable at this point. So the first 3 months of
but 10 still beat 11.
Oh yeah, I mean there's always a little bit of drifting down because 11 is up for adjustment when 9 is on the shelf.
Yeah.
So if 9 sold a few copies left, you can adjust 10, but you can adjust 11 because of the way they double ship them. So
but I must say everyone needs to buy 12 because holy crap!
Oh, Batman's amazing.
Batman 12 just. By far,
it's still my read.
is the best issue of the run so far.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. It's still my read stock. I got a couple books I still got to read. So I'm okay with I understand there's going to be some kind of hinky stuff at the top, especially with these number ones, these big relaunches. But we're looking here at stuff like all these number ones: Iron Man, Venom, IVX. IVX also overshipped number 0. They overshipped by about 50%. So the number one here should be about 60,000, not 84,000.
That just goes to show you like what were Civil War 1. Well, not necessarily Civil War, but what were the number one numbers for the previous re-release or the previous inclination of Marvel? Like, what was Iron Man number 1 selling before that?
Oh, the Iron Man number 1 that came out earlier this year, or end of last year, right? Was 200 something thousand, like humongous, right? And no, I mean if you go back to Civil War 1, like the original event book, yeah, it was something like 250, 300,000 copies. I mean, it's ridiculously huge. So no, we're seeing, as this goes, it just every time they do this, it's less and less and less. And again, all these books here, not only was IVX double shipped, there's also like a 70% discount. It was a huge extra discount on top of the regular price because of incentive ordering, that if you order more, they're cheaper. So yeah, when we come down here, I can let me actually give you some numbers here, because Marvel shipped 39.46% of all comics shipped during this month was Marvel. 31.3% was DC. But then if you go to the dollar amount, right? DC's 26%, Marvel's 38%. With the amount of more that you can see that the dollar amount's way different, right? But that unit amount is a little closer. Right now, if we're looking at a 5 to 8% overship on total over the course of the month, well, look, DC to Marvel, so if that's 39, call 40%, 10% is 4%. So you're looking at about 3% difference, right? So you're looking at DC's about 32%, Marvel's about
33.
About 37, 36, 37, right? So those numbers are very close. And this is a month where Marvel launched 6 number ones with variant covers, and DC didn't launch a single. Well, I think they launched Mother Panic. I think that was like the only new number one.
They had Mother Panic. They had the new. They had the Batman and Turtles.
But
Batman
Turtles is IDW. That's not DC.
Oh, it's not listed under.
Nope, that's IDW.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yep. That's not published by DC. That's published by IDW. So you have this, a much smaller actual number when you look at the share.
But the thing is when you get to the money amounts, if they're shipping the same amount of books, and yeah, you can tell the price difference in the books based on what the percentage of the
the price shouldn't go towards the dollar. So, but I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how this works. So,
because you said how much was DC's percentage
for
dollar?
26%,
and then Marvel was 30.
But if you look at the a lot of this comes from Comic-Con, right? So you have like units in the top 300 and dollar in the top 300, and they're just the way it breaks down percentage wise. I mean, I don't want to get too deep into these numbers this time, but anyway.
I thought we were supposed to bore the shit out of price.
I'm really curious to see what these numbers are going to look like come like March, unless Marvel is able to do something ridiculously different in the next few months.
Well, because do you with this trend going, do you see really an increase in ordering for like X-Men Gold and Blue?
I think now that we have the creative teams and the pitches for the titles, no, I'm going to order no different than what I'm ordering now because maybe a little bit extra on the number ones, but I don't think they're going to sell any better. In fact, it'll probably going to piss people off because it's not X-Men Blue and Gold. It's totally different takes. It's exactly what's out right now. It's just all new X-Men.
Label.
It's all new X-Men and Extraordinary X-Men.
Just labeled differently.
Right, with new titles. There's no difference in these books. They're not different titles. And I don't believe that's what people want. So, we'll see. We'll see, like with Cable and Weapon X and a few other. Those will sell better than those 4 other books.
Will sell better than Mosaic, Fool Killer, Slapstick, which you ordered 0.
Yeah. Oh, a bunch of these books I've ordered 0. Yeah. So, I don't think we got to talk about. We got a lot of movies and TV stuff here. Although we do have some comic stuff, but let's just do a couple movie TV things here real quick. Toby.
Okay.
Toby's not on the podcast. Okay, Brock.
Yes.
You see the Spider-Man trailer?
Yes, I did.
What do you think of the Spider-Man trailer?
I like the kid who's playing Spider-Man.
Okay.
It looked like it almost felt like I was watching like a trailer for Amazing Spider-Man.
Yep.
Which at least is a step up from Amazing Spider-Man 2. But I mean, and then Tony, like Robert Downey Jr.'s in it, and I'm like, okay, but
I mean, I think we knew he was going to be in it. I'm fine with him being in it.
I think the thing is,
I think he's only going to be in it for a couple minutes. It's not.
Yeah.
He's basically in it for one scene, and that's it.
Yeah, or like a couple, and that's it.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to be heavily involved.
I think what was awkward for me was the weird forced Ultimate Spider-Man shove. Like
it feels like half Miles Morales.
It feels like they took Miles Morales from the Ultimate Universe and then shoved it into this. And is that Mary Jane?
I don't know. I think they said.
Like it's really, really confusing. And then you get.
I mean, I don't think there's anything confusing. I think I just don't think it looks very good at all.
Well, no,
I think it looks super generic. I hate the Vulture. I think it looks like you said. I think it looks exactly like another Amazing Spider-Man movie. I don't think they learned a single thing.
I after I saw it, I posted on Twitter that I hope Michael Keaton didn't get typecast because he played Birdman. Wah wah. But again, I like Michael Keaton as an actor.
Oh, yeah.
And he's older now, and Vulture is an older character.
Well, that's not. I mean, that's barely Vulture. It looks more like Firefly or something from DC than
it just looks like
Vulture.
They did the Goblin suit from
I mean, it doesn't look anything like. I mean, if you showed me that the stills in it look, I mean, I could not tell you that was Vulture if I saw it.
It doesn't. There is nothing about it that really stands out as this is the Vulture. It just looks like a souped up version of the really crappy Green Goblin armor from the first movie.
I mean, I don't think it looks like the Green Goblin armor, but it just doesn't look like the Vulture. I mean, to me, kid's good. All of them have been good. I have never had a problem with any of the people playing Spider-Man. I think it looks funny, which is fine, and every movie released by Marvel or Marvel Studios is going to be funny, which is, again, fine. We're still quite a ways out, so this could be the very low-key, not a lot of special effect trailer, so maybe they're just doing some more human shots.
There was like a comparison image from an old Spider-Man movie where he's like in between holding something.
Oh, yeah. But that's, I mean, that image has been used.
And then this one it's the...
He's holding like a barge together. Yeah.
Something.
I mean, but that's I mean, that's from the comics. I mean, that doesn't come from the movie. But I think it's okay looking. But it doesn't look any better than the last two movies.
No.
I pray I'm wrong, because Amazing Spider-Man 1 was boring. Amazing Spider-Man 2 was just bad.
Yeah.
So
I haven't even seen 2.
You're not missing anything. It's real bad. So I don't know what they're thinking. Like I said, God, I hope Marvel Studios is actually more involved with this, and this was just kind of not a good trailer. But yeah, he looks fine. I got no problem with was it Tom Holland? Is his name? What the hell's his name?
The actor that plays him?
Huh? Yeah, Tom Holland. Yeah. This did not sell me. Just not give me any confidence.
No. I mean, I think...
Well, hold on. And I think people kind of misunderstood what I was saying last week about the Guardians trailer. I think the Guardians trailer is really good. I'm concerned that it's going to be... rely too much on comedy, but I'm not too worried about it. I just feel the trailer might not be indicative of what the movie is, and that's fine. This, on the other hand, I'm very, very, very excited for Guardians 2. This does not look good to me, and that really concerns me.
No. This feels like an alt book, like it's a different universe. Like it's like Earth 1 or Elseworlds or something.
Well, it's absolutely Ultimate Spider-Man, just with Peter Parker.
Yeah, just with Peter Parker.
Yeah. Which could be fine. Yeah. There's no reason that can't work, but it doesn't look like it has the same style and general substance that the Marvel Cinematic movies have.
A lot of the stuff in it's forced. Like, kind of the BVS problem, right? Where they took all of these stories and tried to cram them into one. Like, this kind of feels like they're taking different elements of Spider-Man, Ultimate Spider-Man, regular Spider-Man, and they're just trying to cram it all into this movie.
Well, taking various elements from it and putting it together is one thing, but I there's no story really in that trailer. You just kind of get...
Well, we know the Vulture's getting him.
Flying around, but, like, it doesn't...
He's going to go after Aunt May because she's hot.
Yeah, I mean, I don't feel like...
I mean, okay, I will admit this. I do not mind Marissa Tomei playing Aunt May because a hot Aunt May is a good thing.
No, like I said, I'm hopeful for it. Let me put it that way. I'm not excited for it. I'm hopeful for it.
You're pulling a Superman?
I'm
a Man of Steel? You're hopeful?
I'm hopeful for it, so we'll see. We have one more little movie bit here before we get to some to another actual comic talk here. Just hour or two before we started recording. Yeah. Perfect timing. Sounds like it's pretty official. David Ayer is going to be back with Margot Robbie, who was Harley Quinn in Suicide Squad, and she's going to be producing, and he's going to be directing Gotham City Sirens, the seeming official title, with Jeff Johns and John Berg, the two guys part of DC Films, producing. So, we had heard a lot over the last couple of months about the possibility of a Gotham City Sirens, Birds of Prey, kind of those two camps involved in some fashion. Obviously, Gotham City Sirens made the most sense because it's
the merchandising.
It's Harley Quinn, right? It's Harley Quinn, Catwoman,
Poison
Ivy, which are obviously some of the most popular characters. So it makes total sense to do this. And man, oh god, if they can actually bring in Birds of Prey, if they can do Batgirl, Huntress, and Black Canary, and then man, if they could even bring in like Lady Blackhawk, or they could bring in some like the other characters, I'd be so happy. But
you know what would be really good is if they brought in Batwoman.
Yeah, they totally have Batwoman on it. Yeah, if they had like Batwoman, I mean, even if they wanted to maybe replace out Huntress with Batwoman or Black Canary with Batwoman, I mean, I would want Black Canary, but or it may just be Batwoman, Batgirl. I could see them doing that too. That could work really well if they wanted to. I'm, regardless of what you thought of Suicide Squad, whether you liked it or not, I don't think anyone disliked Margot Robbie as Harley.
No,
I mean, I think
she did a great job as Harley Quinn.
I think most people really liked her, and so it makes sense to have this character spin off into a sort of a headlining her own series. There's apparently also a Deadshot Will Smith, maybe not solo movie, but a kind of led separate from Squad as well. So we make it on top of Suicide Squad 2, which they'll clearly do.
We'll just spin off on our own titles.
we make it 3 Suicide Squad sequels, which would be incredible. So I am all up for that. So, but they also cast I don't have it up here. Maybe Toby remembers the guy's name.
Ocean Master.
Yeah, they cast Ocean Master for the Aquaman movie. So that's awesome. They have he was on the second season of Fargo, which if you haven't watched Fargo, watch Fargo. It's amazing. Is
that on your list for next week?
Was Fargo season 2 this year? I think it was last year.
They're delayed that much?
I think it's, I don't know when the hell season 2 of Fargo came on. I'll have to look. I don't remember. I feel like it wasn't this year. Maybe like the tail end of it was this year. Maybe. Fargo's fantastic. But yeah, so Ocean Master, I mean, it makes sense for Ocean Master to be involved, whether he's the main villain or if he's just sort of a side villain.
Or heaven forbid, build him up to be a villain in the next movie.
Oh, they could do that after doing Black Manta as the villain. So it'd be very easy to build him up as because he's Aquaman's brother and brother turned supervillain.
Yeah.
So or half brother, I guess. So it makes sense to have him kind of be on the.
What does that say about Aquaman's mom?
I think it's his half brother. Well, she slept with a lighthouse keeper. She wants to marry a lighthouse keeper.
God damn those like message in a bottle type movies.
So, DC has decided that we're never going to cross over with Marvel Comics again. And Marvel Comics is never going to cross over with any company ever again because Disney doesn't want to do that.
Because apparently neither of these companies like money.
Well, No, DC does. So DC said, we're just going to cross over with literally everything else that's not Marvel. So we've had Star Trek, Green Lantern, we had Legion Star Trek. Mm-hmm. We have the new there's another Star Trek one coming up.
Yes.
We have Green Lantern, Planet of the Apes coming up. We had Gotham Academy Lumberjanes crossover.
Yep.
So we've had tons and tons. We have the Batman Turtles, and now the animated Batman and animated Turtles team up. So this is all within DC, the stuff I'm about to talk about, but it is still another one of these absolutely crazy team up books.
Yes.
And I am so stupidly excited for these books.
I can tell you which one you're overly overjoyed for.
They're all amazing, but no, they're just all amazing.
No, there's one. It's not like a child. You can say which one's your favorite.
I don't know. We'll get to it. So if you've heard us talk in the past, all these Hanna-Barbera books that DC's putting out are between good to like books of the year when it comes to Flintstones. So we're getting Adam Strange and Future Quest by Mark Andreyko, Jeff Parker, Steve Lieber with a Top Cat backup. Like all these backups too are like kind of like going to be more serious, just like these other titles. A Top Cat backup by Dan Didio and Phil Winslade. So Adam Strange is one of my absolute favorite characters, future
I'm not a big
guy.
Future Quest fan, but I am an Adam Strange fan, so I'll definitely check out that one.
Oh, it's the perfect book for them to cross over. I know this is your favorite, Booster Gold and the Flintstones.
Fuck yeah.
By Mark Russell, Rick Lenardi, Scott Hanna, and a Jetsons backup featuring Amanda Connor, Jim Palmiotti, and Pierre Brito. I don't know their artist.
I think Amanda Connor and Justin Palmiotti, or Jimmy Palmiotti is a really good fit for a Jetsons tale.
Yeah.
I think
well, there was a piece of Amanda Connor artwork floating around a few months ago, I want to say, because she did the Flintstones kind of like characters before the book launched, and I saw a Jetsons one, and I was like, is this a real thing? Like, did she just do this? And I'm assuming it's part of this.
Yeah.
Now you would think I'd be a bigger fan, but I actually never been a big Space Ghost fan. However, Green Lantern Space Ghost sounds amazing.
Yeah.
James Tynion IV, Ariel Olivetti, who's great, who I'm going to say this, I believe did the art for the previous Space Ghost comic that came out like a decade ago.
Issue mini?
Yeah, I want to say Ariel Olivetti did that. I'm not.
Alex Ross did all the covers.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure, but that's sounding right in my head. And then Ruffin Writing, I know those characters, but I don't really know much about them. But that's okay because Howard Chaykin's doing it back up with those characters. So
that's the book you can avoid because it's Howard Chaykin.
Well, I will get the main book because of the front part. I should say, these are all one-shot annuals, by the way, too. These aren't like miniseries. Yeah. These are all one-shot annuals coming out in March, I believe it is. And then the craziest one is Suicide Squad and the Banana Splits by Tony Bedard and Ben Caldwell with a Snagglepuss backup by Mark Russell and Dale Eagleshine, which Mark Russell's been doing Flintstones. He's incredible. So I am so excited for Snagglepuss is a Southern Gothic playwright working with an ensemble cast of cultural figures exploring an intensely creative time in New York City theater scene in the 1950s. Are you fucking kidding me? Snagglepuss. Incredible. But Suicide Squad and the fucking Banana Splits, that is the most bonkers. That is
there better be a flying pie in that one.
I just don't even know.
Right? I mean, there better be somebody better get a pie in the face in that one.
You could say, oh, this is dumb. I want my comics to be serious. This is what comic books is about. This is amazing. This is just the ridiculous crap you can do. And it could work.
Yeah. Well, Flintstones has been working.
Flintstones. Oh, we're going to talk a lot about Flintstones in a week or two.
And part of me is pissed off that Prez isn't finished.
Yeah, but I'll take Flintstones over Prez at this point.
Yeah, but I'm just saying.
Prez was good. Flintstones is on another level.
Yeah, but that Prez backup in Catwoman election night.
It was good. But I wouldn't give it. If I had a choice, Flintstones.
Oh, yeah.
No question.
Yeah.
Prez is good. Flintstones is better.
Mm-hmm.
So crazy.
So make sure you talk to your local comic book store to get those pre-orders.
Yeah, these all come out March 29th, 2017. So
it's for next month?
This is for March, yeah. So this will be the January
previews,
stuff.
Yeah.
And these all come out the same week. So Yeah, go crazy. Get these. These are amazing.
Nope, be $5 each.
Yeah, $4.99 each, double sized for the backup. So yeah, so looking forward to that. So excited. All right, yeah, we got a big long episode we're recording next week, so we're gonna keep this episode a little on the short side. So again,
Okay,
end of year.
Jinxed it, by the way.
No, we just got questions. End of year, not a ton of news. Although there's actually more news this week than I even would have thought. So. With the small cast,
we can't talk about Walking Dead mid-season finale because you didn't finish
extra
it.
To say, but no, yeah, we'll So the plan right now is. Oops, I didn't turn my phone off. Sorry, don't mind the ring. The plan right now is I will not forget to bring home the spinach dip. Thank you, Leanne. The plan right now is we're going to record a double next week, so we're going to do our top TV show, movie, general nerd culture stuff. That'll be releasing next Tuesday. After recording, the following week's episode will be our
Christmas and New Year's.
Yeah, will be our top comics of the year from all the different companies. So that episode will be releasing first. Be coming back from January. When we come back in January, that will probably end up being
kind of the wrap up.
We could recap
like the end of the year, kind of like mid season finales for all the TV shows and
because we haven't talked the mid seasons. For the superhero stuff, we can talk Walking Dead, and there'll be other stuff to talk about that week. So, and we have seen Rogue One by that point, so no Rogue One talk.
Oh, no Rogue One. Well, come on.
Go listen to Geekbox if you want to hear my Rogue One talk.
Can't we just do a Discord episode?
I mean, if you want it to be in your honorable mentions for best
honorable mentions, is probably going to be on my list.
It's not a comic book movie, so it can't be on your comic list.
Do they make comics of it?
They are, but it's not a comic book movie.
Son of a bitch.
We got a couple questions here. We got one from Problematic Cartoon. He says, page review and analysis of IVX number 1, please. No, thank you.
Well, okay, I will say this about IVX number 1. They actually printed it on decent cover stock.
Yeah.
And it feels like a solid book.
It's thick, it's big. It's $6.
Yeah, well, it's like the new talent showcase from DC or...
those are like $9.99 square bound.
But that's what this feels like. Is it feels like a really solidly put together book. Now, whether
IVX
or not the
has
content's any good.
IVX number 1 at least. Number 0 is on
all the flimsy
normal trash paper, but number 1 is on a nice
thick cover stock.
Thick, yeah.
It's not as
paper stock,
and it's not as odd thick stock as Civil War has been. It's different.
I feel it's like a coated cover stock. I feel it's much better than the Civil War cover stock. Yeah. The Civil War cover stock has that annoying kind of bend that a few of the other books have had. So, Toby's here.
Hello.
What's happening?
You guys are a bunch of sad fucks, man.
Why?
Can't believe you're not excited about Spider-Man, man.
Did you like the trailer?
Yeah, fuck yeah. Do you really want to see more of the same shit? I'm actually kind of excited to see young Spider-Man, some different takes on it.
No, I don't want to see the same shit. That's why I don't want it to. That's why it looks like Amazing Spider-Man again.
No, it doesn't.
No, it totally does.
No, you guys are a bunch of sad fucks, man. Negative bunch of fucking negative Nancy is what they call it, right? Is that what they call it here?
Hey, man, when Spider-Man showed up in that first Civil War trailer, I was like, oh, yeah, this is Spider-Man.
This is more of that.
No.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And I think it's a cool updated take on the Vulture, actually.
I disagree.
Negative Nazis, fuckers.
Hey,
Nazis.
I'll go see it. But
negative Nazis.
Amazing Spider-Man left such a bad taste in my mouth, especially the second one.
Whatever. This is not even compared to that, man. This is straight out of Civil War.
Yeah, it
makes perfect sense. No, it does.
It doesn't look the same.
Yes, it does.
We'll see. Remember, it's not Disney doing it. It's Sony. Disney's got their hands in it, but it's not the same.
Negative Nancy's, yo.
All right, Bryce can write in with this question. Problematic.
And you fucks for Guardians of the Galaxy last week, man. That's the greatest trailer of all time. And fuck you on your negativity on little Baby Groot, man. Baby Groot is the most awesomest thing. I want to watch a whole movie with Baby Groot.
Again, it was funny.
Yeah.
Assuming it's not 90% of the movie.
I'll take 100% of the movie with Baby Groot, man. You fucking go home and sleep or something.
I want a teen angst Groot. You know? I want to know what his puberty years are like.
No, I just want Groot to be Groot. I don't want Baby Groot.
But we can
Baby
all
Groot
agree.
is the best
we
thing
can
of
all
all
agree.
time.
No Rastafari Groot. We can all agree on that, right, Toby?
I don't fucking know who that is.
What's his name? James Gunn, right?
Yes.
He came out and he said, "Yeah, Baby Groot was always part of the equation. It's not just like a marketing, or it's not just like an action figure ploy by Disney."
Actually, no. He came out and said originally he had him be grown up already.
Yeah.
But something was missing out of it, so he rewrote it all.
Yeah.
And that's how it came with the Baby Groot story.
Yeah.
Is it still Vin Diesel doing the voice?
Don't know. So anyway, problematic cartoon is another question here. He says, seriously, though, and Bryce can answer this one when he gets back, what is the best non-Claremont Byrne or Morrison era of X-Men?
Brubaker was pretty good. The Rise
X-Men?
of the Shi'ar Empire.
Yeah. Non-Claremont Byrne and non-Morrison. Because he knows the answer everyone will give, and he knows the answer I will give. So
Wait, isn't it the Jim Lee run?
that's Claremont.
That's Claremont.
Yeah, but he said Claremont Byrne.
Well, I mean,
you talking to nerds here, man. You gotta be fucking specific.
sure.
I think he's saying Claremont
But-
and
Well,
Byrne.
he says Claremont and Byrne,
comma.
but no, he says Claremont and Byrne. But sure, I mean, yeah, sure. If you want to say Claremont and Jim Lee, yeah,
Yeah?
I'd probably agree with that
Yeah?
because
Mic dropped.
hasn't been much since, and there wasn't much
I like the
prior.
Brubaker stuff. The
Yeah, Brubaker was
Rise of
fine.
The Shi'ar Empire. That was really good
But
stuff.
I mean, it was like 12 issues. Like it wasn't.
Yeah.
He
I mean,
didn't have a big
I was
run.
kind of partial to, like, I enjoyed the stuff that Fraction was doing around the Messiah complex and all that stuff. Like, I mean, it was fair. It wasn't necessarily as strong as some of the other stuff, but I thought all of the X-Men titles had been fairly good for that period of time.
I mean, my X-Men when I first started reading was around issue 275 to 310.
So Jim Lee.
Like the back half of the Jim Lee stuff through, who took over? Was it Patachio? No, who took over after Jim Lee?
Hold on. No. One of the brothers. One of the Kubert brothers.
Oh, Kubert. Yeah.
That was excellent, too.
Yeah, so that was
Oh, you're
sort of
talking
like
about the regular X-Men series.
yeah,
I thought you
Uncanny.
were talking
Yeah,
about, no, Uncanny. It's Pacello because that's the Bishop stuff with
it's not
Storm.
Chris Pacciolo.
Huh?
It's not Chris Pacciolo.
Not Pacello. Porcheo.
Portacio? Will
yeah.
Portacio?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he did some of that.
He took over after Uncanny, or he took over, after
Jim Lee.
Jim Lee for a little while, and then I think it was
Jim Lee did the Lee and Claremont.
Yeah, or Kubert,
And then Kubert
Andy
did the
Kubert did
the
stuff
300s.
after that.
Yeah,
And he was doing
Like
extra
that was
stuff
when
as
I
well.
first started reading. So that, I mean, yeah, I
That had the cool Rogue Gambit cover.
a lot of people. Well, that's right when I think it crapped. After that, literally, what isn't 310? I think that's the issue. But it's like after that run, I think is when it went down. Because after they marry off Jean Grey and Cyclops, I felt like they had a couple.
That was issue 30.
Yeah, they had a that whole like time they had like it. I don't know. It just didn't go.
Yeah,
far
I
after
don't know.
that.
The X-Men went through this weird kind of lull for a long time, and then the sales, you could tell the sales dropped so bad in the late half of the 300s, and then they started to pick up a little bit, but then they dipped again.
You want to talk about that?
Fucking Ben Reilly.
Spoiler
Told you.
alert.
Fucking told you. Nobody believes me.
Toby wants to spoil Clone Conspiracy.
No, but nobody ever believes me. I said he's coming back. Charlie actually
favorite?
texted me about it. I didn't know about it. I didn't read it.
Your favorite's back.
Yeah.
Got a question from Dr. Razor.
Razor.
It says, has there ever been a comic cover you deemed not appropriate to put on the store shelf?
Yes, multiple times.
Also, do you have many kid customers?
We sell them to the kids when they
Any
try to
issue
slide by it.
Any issue of Crossed comes to mind?
Oh, I put Cross on the shelf. I mean, if there is straight up nudity on the cover,
Yeah, we
You
covered
put
it.
this backboard on it.
yeah, which we'll cover that. But anything else, I don't care. Yeah. We do have kids customers, yeah, absolutely. But
Well, our kids section is separate from...
yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
I mean, well, for a while, the kids section was right next to the adult stuff. But that was the only way we could do it.
It happens occasionally, but yeah, for the most part, yeah, we get a lot of kids. We get a lot of parents bringing their kids in here and buying a book here or two randomly. We have a handful of pretty consistent, regular, like teenage and
Well,
preteen.
we're not necessarily a store that has the traffic to get a lot of kids in. I mean, I know other stores that have better foot traffic do.
Well, we're not in
lot
like a
more.
big center with like a Target or something like that. So
it we don't necessarily get, because I read that article about I read an article today about the Champion Comics, or Challenger Comics or something in Chicago. They tried to do what they wanted to do and it didn't work, and they kind of had to realize that it's the clientele that you have to kind of appease.
Yeah, sure.
And so like they had another next to them, they like had an art gallery and it didn't do anything. So now actually they turned it into like the kids area. So like the kids would come in and beeline it for that section, and so they start carrying a lot more kid friendly books and more stuff aimed at kids because of their location and because they had a lot of families coming in. So, but yeah, we get it a little bit, but we don't have that high a traffic area for it.
What I think is funny is there's a mostly Indian, not
Daycare.
It's not daycare. It's
a daycare.
I mean, it's an after school
daycare
in our complex here, and there's a ton of kids that come through this complex.
No, the kids like look in and they're like, "Ooh," but the parents are like, "Oh no."
The parents don't let them come in a lot of times. This is one kid though that comes in, he breaks away from his parents and beelines for the Harley Quinn comics every single time I see him, and I'm like, "Oh, this kid's he's got his type already." But it's weird because I would think, oh, sure, these parents. I am actually a little surprised at how often I see the parents like not let their kids come in the comic store. Which and it's not like there's a bunch of porn in the front of the store or anything weird like that.
There's not really. Wait, what's all the stuff I see up front?
I think it's just
it's in ink that you can't see.
Well, I think just culturally they're not something they want the kids reading.
And whenever they come in, they don't even look for the kids' book. They go, "Do you have any asterisk books?"
Well, no, we do,
but they got good taste.
Oh yeah, no. I get asked. Okay. How do I put this? I get asked if we have asterisks in Tintin all the time.
Yeah.
It's because that's what they grew up with.
Of course. I do not sell much asterisks in Tintin. Right? I get asked all the time. And we do. We have them, right? I have a big stack of them.
But that's what the parents grew up with.
Oh, right, of course. Yeah,
they didn't read a whole lot of the superhero stuff.
Oh, no. I know that's what they read. And we have them. We just don't sell a lot of them. It's weird that I get asked constantly about them, but they don't actually buy them.
Culturally, they don't like to spend money. They go get it at the library.
Well, I get asked very often if we rent comics.
Yeah, that's another cultural thing.
Yeah. So I think that's just... I get a lot. We have a lot of Japanese people in this area as well that come from Japan or out here.
Yeah.
A lot of Asian people, and I get asked the same thing a lot. They ask about renting manga, and I'm like, no, we don't do it. So,
but that's normal there,
right? That's why. I'm not saying anything bad.
Yeah, they're not trying to be insulting or anything. It's normal for them.
Right. Yeah, it's just culturally different. So, let's see. This is from Bernard. He says, "Always enjoy Brock's insight, and his jokes make me laugh." So I know he's lying. Bernard's a bit of a troll.
He knows what he's talking about.
This guy's a bit of a troll, so he's always sending me weird messages. So, it's from Keith. He says, "How does this week's DC Rebirth Holiday Special look? DC's is $10. Is it worth it?
Yeah,
and if so,
is it that much?
What's your favorite holiday?
Maybe you have to put it back.
Comics and issues. So DC's been doing a lot of these like 100-page or 80-page $10 issues recently, and
are they $10 or are they $8?
They're $7.99 to $9.99 depending on what they are. I'm always a fan of checking these guys out. None of them ever are like, this is the greatest comic ever published. But, they're always fun little stories.
Story in there.
Yeah, they're always fun little stories.
Well, I would recommend people pick up the New Talent Showcase to kind of just see kind of what the vibe is.
You want to know how bad they bit themselves in the ass on that? They had the worst cover on that comic.
It was, it's a shitty cover. It is a shitty cover.
I don't know. Because the inside looks fine, and then they have lots of. They're testing out a lot of new and indie creators.
No, and the thing is like a lot of the stories in there were really, really good and really well set up, and you could see that they were.
The cover was terrible.
Yeah, the cover was bad. Yeah, I'll give you
that. Favorite holiday themed comic or issue?
Absolutely, the Easter Bunny special. That's the most important holiday comic ever.
Easter Bunny special.
Yeah.
What's that?
No, I'm joking.
Oh, what?
For me, it has to be the
themed.
Yeah, the Green Lantern Lara Fleece holiday special.
That was actually pretty good.
That was pretty good. I really enjoyed the. It wasn't technically a holiday theme one. I think it was the maybe it was the 80-page winner from Batman a few years ago. That one was really good.
I don't remember the stories in that one. Yeah, I don't know that I have like a Christmas themed comic that I really like. There's the Christmas episode of Justice League, the animated series. That was fantastic. That was one of the best episodes of that show. Yeah,
that's
comic
just
though.
a comic.
I can't think of anything. I mean, they have them all the time, but
Because they had the DC was doing like their holiday bashes for like 3 years, and then they went to just the holiday specials for the whatever year it was. They
something
had, like,
something will come to me after we record.
They had an Infinite Halloween one.
Yeah, they had a bunch of those. Yeah, but they've kind of cooled off on them the last few
Another
years.
one that probably a lot of people aren't going to be aware of is the Halloween one from House of Mystery. It was the annual #1, or it might have been a Halloween special, but that one was really good.
I don't remember that one either. Oh, like the more recent Vertigo House of Mystery,
not
comic?
the old one, the newer one.
Yeah, I don't think I read that issue.
So,
Mitchell
hey, Mitch, finally
asked, two of Kurt Russell's characters got to crossover. What was that?
Escape from New York.
Yeah,
and Big Trouble.
Big Trouble.
Big Trouble in Little China. Escape from New York.
Yeah. What two characters from the same actor would you like to see crossover? His is Conan and Terminator. I'm surprised I haven't done that, actually. How many? There's not too many. Batman and Vulture.
Or how about Batman and Daredevil?
Yeah. Well, there was a Batman Daredevil crossover. There was a crossover back in the 90s for Marvel.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Toby, you should be all over this.
Well, it's easy. It's Rambo and Rocky. It's not even a question. It's not even close.
That could work.
Yeah, no.
They're out solving crime.
I'm trying to think of who.
Dominic Toretto and what's it called, Riddick. I'd be down for that one.
I don't know who the first person is.
Yeah, because you don't watch superhero movies.
What?
Yep.
Oh, is that a Fast and Furious thing?
Yes.
Oh, okay. There you go.
That could be considered Xander Cage, though.
No.
Yeah, Daredevil, Batman.
I'm trying to think of like what.
Yeah, a lot of
Captain
times.
America and Human Torch.
And Human Torch, yeah.
Good.
Deadpool and Green Lantern.
Yeah.
That would be-
Deadpool, like, Ryan Reynolds, like, times 4. Ryan Reynolds from Losers, Ryan Reynolds from Deadpool, Ryan Reynolds, oh no, that's not Ryan Reynolds, what's his name? No, it is the Captain America guy, Chris Evans, and Losers, and, Cap, and he's been, like, the Scott Pilgrim movie,
Yeah,
he's been in, like, and Human Torch, he's been in so many.
Superman and the Atom.
Yeah.
And Human Torch. Or Human Torch. And Scott Pilgrim.
Yeah.
'Cause he was the...
And that horror one. What's it called? The horror one. Shoot. What's it called? He was in that horror movie. You could do a triple.
movie.
You could do a triple. Triple crossover.
Let's keep going here.
That was
Take
based
us
on a
some more.
comic
Take us
book.
more. Which one? I have no idea.
No.
30 Days a Night?
No. He was.
Can we do one that's not yet there?
Sure.
Drago and Aquaman.
Yeah, sure. How about Steve Trevor and George Kirk?
No, it's regular. It's James Kirk.
No, the father. Is it? Oh no, the father is the
father's
father's
Thor.
Thor.
Yeah.
That's right.
So
George Kirk and Thor and
and Steve Trevor
and James
Dylan
Kirk.
Dog.
There you go.
Dylan Dog.
Oh, I never saw that. Yeah. What the hell's his face? Why am I blanking on the actor's name?
We have no idea.
Ralph.
Yeah, Brennan Ralph. Yeah. I totally forgot he was in Dylan Dog.
Yeah. That was his.
Can we cross over?
Oh, you're talking about R.I.P.D. Deadpool, Green Lantern, and wasn't that Ryan Reynolds?
that's Reynolds.
Yeah. So Cisco says, if Marvel can goose their chart positions by shipping free unsolicited books, why bother ordering any copies as a retailer? Because it's only select books, and it's very random.
It's random.
Right?
We find out after we place our final order what's coming for free.
After FOC?
Yeah.
It's too bad, because before you could just cancel all your books.
Yeah. It's from Samurai Godzilla. He says, did you guys read Ghost Rider #1? I heard he was barely even in it. I have not.
He was
have no interest.
He was in the backup in the issue more so than he was in the actual story for the issue.
I greatly dislike this past run of Ghost Rider by the same creative team, so I have no intent of reading this book. If you bring back Johnny Blaze or Daniel Ketch, what Daniel?
Danny Ketch,
yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Danny. Sure, it's the same word. Sure, I'll read that. No interest in the Ghost Rider. Hated the character since the first time I saw him.
Well, apparently he's in love with some villain chick, so...
He continues, do you think this new Wildstorm reboot series from Ellis will finally be the comeback they're hoping for?
Nope.
Sure, for 5 issues till Ellis gets bored and moves on to something else.
If they finish it, great. Because as long as they get past Image United,
And then a bunch of schlock writers will come
Guys
over
are
and...
so negative, but this time you're correct.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
well, you
I
should
hope.
be happy Battle Chasers is supposed to be finished.
Right.
Yeah, right.
Talk about Mr. Negativity across the table.
Actually, I do not want that finished because now I'll be the biggest idiots for buying that giant hardcover.
It's from Craig, a
I'll
good
go
friend.
from a $100 hardcover to 25 cents in no time.
A good friend, Indiegator. Craig asks, he says, you guys...
Oh, I should go drink that beer today.
He says, not enough. He goes, so he wants to know about Spider-Man, or the deal of Spider-Man stuff, but he's going to do that later. He goes, but
Rocket Racer for life.
But choose one.
Night Trashes versus Rocket Racer.
He goes, what's the best? He goes, I'm sort of paraphrasing this question here. He goes, what's the better run? Chris Claremont's X-Men or the Wolfman Perez Teen Titans?
Oh.
Now, if Bryce was here, I know how he would answer.
I think it's the
Wolfman
Titans.
Perez.
You're going to get Titans from all three of us.
Yeah.
I've never actually read the Titans.
No?
No,
Oh.
I read the George.
Well, then
Perez
you don't get the answer. Have you read the Claremont X-Men stuff?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Claremont's X-Men is great. He totally redefined those characters. But at the end of the day, I'm just not... I've never been a huge X-Men fan. They're good. I've read them... Not all. I've read 94 to 200. I've read 275 and up. That 2 to 275, I think there's handfuls in there I haven't read. So there's a big chunk of Claremont's run I haven't read. But I've read all his early stuff and I've read all his later stuff. So, but Wolfman Perez Teen Titans, I mean...
Well, they finally started collecting that stuff in trade.
Yeah, they've collected a good chunk of the original stuff. So that's my favorite comics of all time. So to me, it's no question, the Titans. But most people will probably say X-Men. This seems like a Toby question because I don't know anyone. Cisco says, any casting ideas for Catwoman or Poison Ivy for the Gotham City Sirens movie? And who do you want as Black Manta?
For Black Manta?
Yeah.
Wait for somebody from The Wire.
Black Manta fuck, I hate to say it, but everybody fucking calls on him. No, I'm not going to say it.
Idris Elba?
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
But it totally seems like it's totally...
Yeah, it's just too hard because fucking he should just be everything at this point, so it's too easy to call him on that. Yeah. The other two, I will think about it. You're taking me by a little surprise here.
For Poison Ivy? I mean, who's the chick from Mad Men?
Oh, who?
No.
Not her?
No.
Not the Brick? The blonde?
No, the
one of the
redhead.
worst actresses of our generation?
The daughter of the musician?
I've never seen Mad Men. I only know she's on the show.
Oh, there's a lot of
Then you
women. There's
should
a lot of
pick
women on the
then.
show.
Yeah. I'll think on it. I'll come back.
Okay.
Let's move on. I'll come. Wait,
This
who,
literally-
Poison Ivy and who?
Poison Ivy and Catwoman.
We're trying to finish up the Sirens.
Well, last question here, anyway. While you think of that, last question here from Marco, and this is probably a question for you as well, Toby. It says, in light of Battle Chasers returning...
It's not returning.
It's not.
If it is, I'm gonna take that giant hardcover. I'm gonna see Madeira at a con. I'm gonna race towards him, and if I get held back, I'm gonna throw that book in his face.
You know, you could donate it to your local library and get a tax write-off.
He says, do you have any old unfinished...
It's not as satisfying as throwing it in his face.
He says, do you have any old unfinished titles you'd like to see
Yes.
return and continue?
Yes. Fucking Ali Garza, same exact problem.
What
was
happened?
the book called? Skyrunner. He did finish it, but he didn't really finish it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think if there's any series that never finished, I've long forgotten about them. I mean, Prez, I guess.
Prez, non-player.
That whatever. Non-player.
Doesn't count
That,
anymore.
I don't care. Like, not finishing would involve starting. Yeah, and it's just like I didn't even read number 2.
It wasn't as good.
No, one day we're gonna have a retrospective on this podcast, and non-player is where it all gonna start. Yeah, no, I just didn't even read it.
I read
Yeah,
it. It was okay. It wasn't as good as the first one, though.
I mean, what in the last decade or two, what book started that never finished?
The Dying and the Dead, that Hickman book.
Is that just?
It's not done.
Yeah,
The Secret, did that ever finish?
I think it did.
I know, because Brilliant finished, right?
No, but I don't
want it back.
But I wouldn't want it back, right? And no, like
no, I mean, Dying in the Dead is that Hickman one. That'd be the only one I would say I would like to see finished.
You saw he canceled Frontier.
Oh, the new one.
The new one, he canceled all the solicitations. He said it's not going to happen anytime soon. So he axed it, and he's like, "I'll resolicit it when it's ready."
Mm-hmm. Well, that's smart.
Sorry, Stefano. Yeah, I mean, any book that I don't even remember.
Did they finish Steampunk?
I think they did.
I mean,
I think it became unreadable.
It was over. Yeah. I don't think they really finished it, but they ended it.
The art was amazing, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was incomprehensible.
Yes.
Towards the end.
Or,
there.
I mean, if you do some drugs while you're reading, maybe it makes more sense at that point.
Dude, I tried, talking to Hickman, man, I tried to read Black Monday Murders. Woof!
It's good.
Nah, that's not the word I would use.
It's really good. I enjoyed it.
Oh, boy.
It is Hickman heavy.
That's not Hickman heavy. That's like the worst of Kevin Smith just dialogue diarrhea thrown into an 80-page issue.
Did you even read Kill or Be Killed?
I've got them. I haven't read them yet. I need to read them.
Good.
Yeah, sure. Okay, it's Brubaker. Of course, it's good.
They're dialogue heavy as well.
That's fine, but I can read it.
Yeah.
No,
I can see Black Monday Murders being
Black Monday Murders is just
I can
way too fucking dense.
I can see a lot of people going, I can't do this.
No, I tried.
It's the same thing. It's like with Morrison. Sometimes it's like you just can't.
No, Morrison's totally readable, 100%. Everything he's ever done.
So, did you read that 18 whatever the fuck?
He didn't write that. Everything he did,
The Annihilator.
Everything he did for Marvel, DC, and DC.
Okay,
how about that?
Yeah. Please
I have Annihilator. I haven't read it. I believe he wrote that. But no, 18 Days. He only wrote the first issue.
Okay.
Who's the gentleman with the previous question?
Which one?
The actors.
That would be Marco.
Marco.
No, sorry, that would be Cisco.
Cisco. I got Poison Ivy. Bryce Dallas Howard for Poison Ivy.
You can see that.
I'm still working on Catwoman though, so give me a little bit. But I already called out Black Canary a long time ago. If they're gonna do the birds in there, Catherine Winnick should absolutely be Black Canary in the movies. So I'll work on the
Poison Ivy chick pick.
Bryce Dallas Howard.
What's she from?
Gwen Stacy, Jurassic Park or World, whatever it's called. A bunch of other movies.
Oh, I know what you're talking about for
Mad Men, right?
Yeah. I know what you're talking about. Yeah, that's one everyone wants.
I think you dislike her.
No, she's awesome.
Yeah.
No, not the one you're talking about.
Huh?
Not the one I'm talking about.
You were thinking about Emma Frost.
Yeah, she's terrible. That's not what I'm thinking about.
No, not her.
Yeah, I know.
The other
Brock was thinking about boobies.
Yeah.
I can't remember her name now.
She could be Power Girl too.
She's that rock musician's daughter, isn't she?
I hate to say this type of thing, but you got to think about long term. She's a little old.
Yeah.
Yes.
And she's not very athletic either.
I think it's
Bryce Dallas Howard for Poison Ivy, and I'm working on Catwoman. That takes a little bit more thinking.
We'll keep thinking.
I will
keep thinking while we end this podcast. Thank you guys for everyone that tuned in. It is a little bit of a short episode, but that's okay. We got we're gonna have a couple big episodes coming up, so let you guys go out here early. We got to thank some of our friends on Patreon here. Let's do that.
There are supporters.
There are supporters, but there are also our friends. Our good friend Albert Soy, he's got that app on iTunes called Planet Everywhere. Make sure you check that out. Julian Titus has the Nerds Without Pants podcast, pixelbit.com. He's going to be joining us here. I got to get him on.
The Rock should be like Catwoman. That'd be amazing.
Julian won't be this year, but we're going to get you back on soon, man. Ryan Hess has the Preach podcast at soundcloud.com/Preach podcast. Jody Lawson is canon the Triad Comics Anthology at triadcomicstudio.com. Check those comics out, as well as our good backers at the high tier there, Manoa Play, Sam Che, and Talon Bray.
Thank you, guys.
Brock.
Yes.
You said you had something you're on a...
I'm actually going to be doing a live YouTube broadcast this Saturday. One of my subscribers to my YouTube channel messaged me, and she does reviews of books and stuff like that on the live show. So she asked me to be on. So we're doing that Saturday night. So that's the 17th.
Cool.
So
what's the channel?
I think it's Res Reads is what her channel is called. I'll have a link on my pull list this week.
She's the worst plugger of all time. You don't even know what you're plugging.
A live show on YouTube.
So just go on YouTube and click on every video till you find Brock.
I told them I would have a link. Jesus. I'll probably tweet it right beforehand.
If you go to conspiratorBrock.com or go on Twitter and search for Brock Sager on Twitter, he will find you this link so you can watch his live comic chat on.
And if you can't catch it live, it will probably be reposted just to be there.
On the YouTubes. ComicConspiracyPodcast.com is where you can find this podcast, as well as Geekbox.net and iTunes.
Gambit is way cooler than Cable.
Oh, here we go.
Set the fucking
here
record
we go.
straight.
Here we go. Should have been here last week, man. Could have fought Bryce.
Yeah, I was a little far away.
Yeah, it's all right. Bryce, got to come back. Charlie, got to come back. Toby's throwing the mic down.
Yeah, I'm done. He's just cooler.
He's throwing the deck of playing cards down. Gambit's better than Cable.
Is he throwing?
No, I didn't say better. I say cooler.
Okay,
there's a difference
Gambit's
in that.
Cooler than Cable.
Yeah.
Cool in like a 90s teen backwards hat
No,
type of
he's
way.
just fucking cooler.
Gatorade Mountain Dew cooler.
No, not that kind of cool.
Is he as cool as Cool Ranch Doritos?
He's just cooler.
The Comic Conspiracy.
Cable, maybe have a better story.
The Comic Conspiracy, geekboss.net. You can send us some emails if you would like. Please send us your emails because we have
You are compiling the list, our listener list.
6 days left until
How many people you got? Like 3?
No, like a dozen or something like that. So,
okay.
Yeah, so send us your top 3 lists. We have a link on the forum, The Comic Conspiracy at geekboss.net.
Then I think some people just responded to the link the Facebook.
Link on the Facebook forum, as well. We want your top comic movies, top 3 comic movies, top 3 comic TV shows, top 3 indie comics, top 3 Marvel, and top 3 DC. And if you have some notes, we'll read a handful of those, and we're going to kind of add them all up and see what our listeners' favorite things are. So if you want to get yours in, send us over the list.
Those notes should be pretty fun.
Wonders in the Fourth Dimension, that's Charlie's podcast. Check that out. It's about Doctor Who. They're talking about the animated stuff that's out right now. Etsy.com/shop/Leanne Hill Art if you want something for Christmas.
You should have ordered it last week.
Do it today. Because she ain't doing shit after Christmas. She's on 6-week break. She's like going to sleep until like noon every day.
She's going to catch up on so many shows.
She's going to start so many shows. Leanne's always caught up on shows. It's terrible. I'm always way far behind. Twitter, I'm Ryan Higgins. Ryan Brock's Brock Sager. Larson, Bryce. That's Bryce Larson. Toby's Toby XI. Charlie's Insanity and Chaos. Comics Con store. That's the store. Geekbox Comedy Button. Good Job Brain. I'll Talk Podcast. Manga Machinations. Hopefully you listen to all those as well. Oh, I just hit a button on my Audacity by accident instead of closing this window. So hopefully the recording's still okay. If not, I guess it doesn't matter because it's over. Goodbye, everyone.